Dear viewers, welcome to episode 3, our concluding story. As the king crossed the veil, silence settled over Tegorville. Not fear, not grief, but a deep, resonant stillness. Even the nutrient forges hummed differently, as though the planet itself had paused, listening. As I said earlier, the process of succession had begun. Let me explain further. A slow vibration passed through my chest, then another. Across the land, 2 other Tegors paused at the same instant, their gazes lifting as mine did. 3 of us had been called. I stood frozen in surprise. Me, of all the Tegors. Perhaps my parents had raised me well, or perhaps the soul within me had learned something rarer: to remain still when others surged forward. The trial of stillness began. We did not roar. We did not compete. We did not move. Beneath the waxing and waning pink moon, I listened, not with my ears, but with something deeper. I listened to the rhythm of Tegorville itself, the breath of the forges, the quiet needs of its people, the balance that sustained us all. And I understood then, strength was not noise, it was harmony. On the final cycle, the ground trembled gently. The ancient crown, resting where the king had left it, began to glow. Slowly, elegantly, it lifted into the air, guided by no claw, no command, no force. The planet vibrated as one. The crown drifted toward me and settled upon my head. I was king. I did not roar. I ruled quietly. When I took over as king, I appointed the 2 Tegors who had stood beside me as my closest advisors. I asked them to travel across the planet and identify able, efficient young Tegors to help us form a new circle of roars. Together, we worked to improve the activation of the nutrient forges, making them faster, gentler, and more efficient. We created readily diluted spongy bars for cubs and stronger nutrient slabs for adults. With my trustworthy team, our circle of roars grew into a group of 6. Beyond managing the forges, they assisted me faithfully in safeguarding the happiness, dignity, and well-being of all in Tegorville. I introduced activity play schools for cubs and universities for older Tegors, not because food or comfort were lacking, but because I wanted them to think, to question, and to use their minds rather than blindly follow orders. I was at heart a free soul, one who did not believe in any form of slavery. I watched over my subjects as they moved, worked, laughed, competed, and rested, each in their own rhythm. I ensured no Tegor was overworked or exploited. I protected the nutrient forges not as tools of control, but as living hearts of Tegorville. Food flowed steadily. Strength endured. Order remained, not rigid but wise. And yes, my pink tongue became my unmistakable trademark, respected across the land. In time, I came to be known as His Majesty with the Pink Tongue. Years passed as softly as clouds. When my time came, I felt no resistance. I removed the crown myself and placed it where it would wait for the next call. I stood before the veil, not as a cub, not only as a king, but as what I had always been, a soul, an energy. I stepped forward. Light gathered around me, gentle and familiar, and Tegorville faded into a warm glow below. I rose, free and weightless, back into the vast expanse of the Andromilky galaxy, grateful for the life lived, the rule served, and the wisdom earned. The stars welcomed me home. Gentle creator's note for viewers. Before I sign off, I'd like to share something with you. Many of you know that my earlier episodes were entirely hand-painted, created slowly, one illustration at a time. For this season, I've chosen to also explore AI-generated imagery, not as a replacement, but as a new texture in my storytelling. Stories like worlds thrive on variety. In this new season, I wish to tell my stories using different visual methods, AI-generated or illustrated, and don't wish to remain bound to one form or one method. Each tale chooses its own voice and sometimes its own visual language. Thank you for walking this evolving path with me. This is your storyteller Kitty, signing off for now. Join me next month for another journey through the unknown realms. Until then, keep wandering, keep wondering, and keep imagining.